Hello, my name is Cheyenne. Welcome back to my channel. I got a couple requests on how I edit my Instagram photos. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how with Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop. Let's get started. So I'm starting off in Adobe Lightroom, and I'm going to be kind of messing around with the color mixers, and right now I'm just actually making sure everything is nice and set to default. And as you can see, I'm going through the color mixer, selecting each color and then messing with the hue and saturation until I'm happy. So it's going to make very subtle changes, but it's going to help with the overall appearance of the photo. The overall feel of my Instagram page is dark and moody, so I'm really trying to keep it that vibe with keeping to cooler tones and really bringing down that saturation, bringing up the luminance in some of the things just to brighten up the highlights and really create that moody vibe. I also bring down the overall temperature of the photo to the cooler tone. You can bring it up to the warmer tone if you want. I, like I said, prefer a cooler tone for my photos. I'm making very small adjustments to the actual light controls, and I brought the exposure down a little bit, I brought the highlights down a little bit, and I just messed around with it just enough to make a little bit of a change. And you can see I'm messing around with the temperature again just to kind of get what I want it to look like. And you have to kind of go back and forth between light and temperature and color, and you can see the before and after and how it looks. So this tool is one of my favorite tools of Lightroom. This is the radial tool, and I'm using this to create a mask on my face, and you can actually angle it and change the shape of it to whatever you want it to. So I'm using this tool to enhance my face and really make my face the focus of the photo. So right now I'm darkening the background, and I'm creating a second radial to enhance the face. So I'm going to be brightening up my face and adding a little bit more contrast, deepening the shadows, desaturating a little bit. So I'm just messing around until I'm happy with the overall effect. So this tool is actually really cool and really fun to use. You can get some really creative effects with this. By using this tool, I've casted a light on my face that's not really there, and you can see how it brightens up my face and draws more attention to the center of my face. Right here, I'm messing with the clarity and the vignette, and as you can see, you can go from a dark vignette or a bright vignette. I actually chose to go with a darker vignette to keep with the dark and moody tone of my overall Instagram page. Here, I'm just making my final adjustments to the photo before I export it into Photoshop. So for the Photoshop portion of the video, I've already done some basic skin smoothing and I've cropped the photo. I can definitely show you guys this in a different video in the future. Just let me know in the comments below if that's something that you would want to see, some basic skin retouching. Alright, so what I am doing, for some reason, my screen capture didn't capture any of the drop down, so what I'm doing is I am copying that background and I'm pasting it on top of this picture and expanding it to go over the entire photo. Then I am going to go into the layers and I'm going to adjust the saturation and the hue, all of those kind of things. And then I am going to right click on both of those and hit merge layers, and that's going to make it into one layer. Once your layers are merged, you're actually going to be going in and you're going to be changing the blending mode, which is that little drop down I just clicked on, and you're going to change it to overlay. Alright, I know this looks a little crazy right now. I'm just going through all of the different options, but ultimately I do choose overlay as my blending option. Once you choose your blending option, you are going to press Alt and New Mask, which is going to be down below in the right hand corner. Once you do this, it's magically going to go back to normal, and then you are going to click the paintbrush and make sure that you have white selected. You are going to gently go over the background and just paint your background in. I'm using a large brush with a large feather to it, so it has that nice soft edge. So there you have it. I've added a background without having to cut myself out and paste it. And it's a much softer background. It's not super cut up or anything like that. I'm gonna be adding a little bit of texture to the background by doing the same exact steps, but instead of using overlay, I'm gonna be using a different blending option. So I'm gonna cut and paste this background right on top. I honestly really love Photoshop, and it is one of my favorite things to edit with, and you can get very creative and do so many different things with it, which is why I love it so much. And you're gonna see this is just gonna add a hint of texture to the background, and it's gonna be such a cool end result, and I'm really excited to actually share this with you guys. So I chose soft light for this blending option. It just was the one that looked the best. I'm not really focusing on what it's doing to my face. I'm focusing on what it's doing to the leaves in the background. And I'm going to be messing around with the opacity in the fill as well, just to kind of see what kind of look I'm going to get with that background. And like I said, I'm not focusing on my face, I am focusing on the background. And so I'm going to move and adjust that texture kind of where I want it to be. And I want that dark texture right around my head, just to kind of blend in the background and the darkness of my hair. So same thing, I'm going to be hitting Alt, New Mask, and I'm going in with a white paintbrush to create that texture. I'm going to be bringing down the opacity because it's at 100% right now. So that's at 0%, and we're bringing it probably about halfway, maybe a little less, and it's just going to add a little bit of texture to the leaves in the background. And I really liked the outcome of that. And you guys, everything I've done in this video, I have learned through trial and error, just trying to figure it out on my own and watching a bunch of other YouTube videos on how to edit photos. So definitely put in the work, you guys. It is so much fun to be creative and have fun with this platform. So it definitely takes a lot of practice. But if you guys try out Photoshop and Lightroom, you guys are gonna absolutely love it, I guarantee it. Be sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned for next week's video.